somebody asked me about twin flames and how twin flames can sometimes go against one's lifelong spiritual practice. So, whether you are practicing Islam or you're a Christian or Buddhist or Hindu or even an atheist, believing in twin flames as a concept requires a lot. And I think that there needs to be a recentering so that we're able to connect the dots, because sometimes there are going to be seasons in our life where nothing makes sense, and that spiritual core of who we are, it's our processing center. It's the hardware within us that helps us understand things. It can be especially challenging. Let's say somebody who was Christian their whole life and now they're not. That's another story, right? That can be challenging because now you've got to process through a different lens. But let's say that you didn't leave your spiritual practice. You just kind of got distracted, or you've just been diving so deep into the twin flame journey that you don't really know like where it all fits, and you haven't put it together yet, but you're starting to go, where does this fit? I want to make it very clear that the twin flame journey should not derail your personal spiritual growth. A lot of people will claim that twin flames as a concept has helped them grow. And I think it's about 50-50. I can't really tell if that's true or not. I think that people give the concept more credit, like they were probably already growing spiritually, right? But I do think twin flames is special in that it can show us unconditional love. It can encourage a second chance. It can help us in a society where it's thirsty to text right away, It can help us regain some footing in that space of unconditional love. But I think that there are a lot of people who see twin flames as a concept as just a fake thing that encourages people who are obsessed. And there are people who, even if twin flames is real, could be in the twin flame space and in all other aspects of their life be pretty healthy, but have slipped into obsession. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not real, or that they're not a real twin, or that they are always going to be doing the wrong thing. They could grow out of that obsession and still identify as a twin flame. And so this is where twin flames can be a little dangerous. But if you realize, whether you think it's real or not, but you know that there are some obsessive tendencies with the other person, you have to acknowledge that there's most likely some sort of neglect of self that's happening. And self-neglect is really self-betrayal, because you're the only person who's going to do that for yourself. And I think that initiations in love are deeply personal, even if they feel fated. And so what we have to do, no matter what, is anchor our practice and our values, not just the twin flame story, the twin flame journey, whether we've ascribed to runner chaser, or whether we believe in the multiple steps or the flow, the scale of reunion, or whatever it is that we believe about it. It should be a complement, a supplement, something off to the side, is my point, to what we've always been and what we've always known. And I say that especially because there is a wealth of knowledge of most spiritual practices, most religious backgrounds. But I've been researching twin flames for almost a decade. There's no book. There's no common core pieces of evidence. Everything that I have found online is just connected to some random reader. It's not coming from any one place, and it never matches up. If you come from a spiritual practice, or even if you come from atheism, there is so much out there on how to be an atheist and what atheists think. And there's so many books, right? There's so much content. And there is a fairly cohesive belief, even if there's subcategories of what kind of atheist you are, it's easy to see where you would fall. It's easy to see where you would fall if you were a Southern Baptist Christian or a Catholic or an Orthodox Jew or, but Twin Flames doesn't have that. In fact, it has the opposite, which is usually a sign that something has either been corrupted, that there is more to the story than is available, or the more unpopular opinion amongst Twin Flames would be that it's not what we think it is. So until there is some truth that comes out that isn't just something that resonates with us, but then every other person we know has heard something different, but until there is a core reality, a core truth for Twin Flames, to just throw away your lifelong spiritual practice for it would be one of the worst decisions you could ever make. Seek integration, not explanation. Do not miss the points of the normal physical stuff. Like obsession can just be limerence, right? There are psychological explanations even for why someone might end up where they are. We as individuals have to go through rigorous filters, one after the other, to make sure that we're actually a twin and not just this. I could go down the list of all the reasons why someone could end up in this place and realize, oops, this isn't for me. So my recommendation would be, look into your lifelong spiritual practice. For me, it was Christianity. I looked into it and I found some solace about Twin Flames in the fact that there is the concept of union with Messiah in the Bible and the idea of being sent out 2 by 2. There's a lot of pairing kind of stuff in the Bible. So there is certain stuff that for me, I'm like, okay, I could see where maybe Twin Flames is not completely out of alignment with my core beliefs. And it helped me a lot in navigating what mattered in the Twin Flame journey for me. I recommend doing the same for yourself. And I can't tell you what I came up with beyond that. I shouldn't even have told you that, honestly, but still, because even for other Christians, it might be different. Some might be like, no, I don't agree with that, Grace. Okay, fine. What do you think? Seek that. Seek that truth before you try to turn Twin Flames into some idol in your life, to the center, to the core of who you are, because I can assure you that will be a very dangerous decision. And in the end, you will have to either return to your core practice or find something that fits and is a little bit more grounded than Twin Flames. Good luck.